All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with me on this fine Sunday morning. Hopefully, you have your coffee and are good to go. So, let me do the quick pleasantries and say hi to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Siren is in the house. Good morning, my favorite mod. How are you, my friend? Me is in the house. Me, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Jack Gallman from Marion, North Carolina. Good day, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. We have Paula Bloom. Good morning, Paula. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling well. Jackalope, what's going on, bud? I'm glad you got the package. That's awesome that you got that. I do appreciate that. Good morning, Teach. What's going on, Teach? Make sure you email me. I got something I need to send you. Let's see. Jeff Davis, Red Silver. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Steve looking for silver. What's going on, bud? Good to see you. Y'all come in to check out DB Cooper's story. Talk a little bit about some of the money that they had, some of the theories, just kind of do some general chit chat regarding this particular case. Mickey Fur, what's going on, Mickey? How you doing, bud? Everyday Opportunities in the house. Thank you all for being in here. Definitely appreciate you for coming in. Rockzilla just snuck in. What's up, Rockzilla? How you doing? Thank you for being here. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into this. We have a special guest, and that special guest isn't really someone you would expect not to be here. What's up, Eric?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing,
Hope
bud?
you're
Everybody's
doing
like,
great,
"Oh, who
doing
to
great.
bring in?" It's Eric. Oh, it's just Eric. No, it's not just Eric. I'm just kidding. Eric has been identifying cool coins. What's up, Sorcerer Stan? How you doing, brother? Thank you for being a channel member. I definitely appreciate you all. Mickey says howdy. Paula says howdy. Y'all saying hi to you, Eric.
And howdy back.
He's busy. He's looking at varieties.
No, I'm not. I'm just multitasking. I'm going to stop here in a second.
Hey, Washington State Jags fans, what's going on, man? How you doing? All right, Jack Gallman found the link to the other side. Outstanding. Again, just as a reminder, folks, and I did do this yesterday. I don't know why I didn't do this, but if you are in landscape mode and you are on your phone and you want to view it in portrait mode, go to the pin message up top and click on that. Likewise, if you are in portrait mode and you don't want to be there, you want to be in landscape mode, then go ahead and click on that and swing on over to the other one and it will take you there. All right. Outstanding. Sounds good. Getting notifications. Let's turn those off. Going junkie, my man. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. All right. So we are going to be talking DB Cooper today. Now, it's not just going to be DB Cooper, but this is going to be the primary topic of conversation. So for those of you who haven't seen the DB Cooper video, go check that out. Okay. I had a lot of fun making this. This was something that was done at the request of a couple people that I had lunch with, actually dinner with, just after the total eclipse here in San Antonio. I met with Freaking Awesome, I met with Teacher, and I met with SkyQuest. And over dinner, we were talking about videos and things of that nature. We were looking at the various items that were on the channel and talking about some of the cool stories that were out there. And they said, you should look at DB Cooper. You should be able to look at the items, the elements of that, because you know that you can buy DB Cooper money. And I was like, well, I kind of know the story of who he is, but I'll have to do some research. I didn't know you could buy money from DB Cooper. What's up, Papa York? Good to see you, bud. Hey, Malcolm, how you doing? Good to see you. So I was like, well, that's really cool. I'll have to look into it and I'll have to see. So I created the video on this story. I brought in Gary Huffman, who is a retired Special Forces military type, who's actually performed the same basic jump. So I brought him in to talk a little bit about what was going on and how the scenario kind of could play out and what kind of stuff he would have to have. And again, it's all in the video. Go check that out. It's a lot of fun. Well, what I wanted to do today is I wanted to talk a little bit about, hey, what's up, Strider? Good to see you, bud. What I wanted to do is I wanted to check on some of the bills and see if people were aware that you could actually purchase the DB Cooper notes that were found. So let me just get a quick poll. So obviously, Eric, you and I were talking about this when I first came up this
Yes.
morning before we went live, talking about the history of the case and who we think did it, and um, some kind of discussions regarding some of the prospective um, would-be hijackers. But let's get a poll from the group. Let's see who you guys think. So, how many people? Number one, thumbs up, wave a hand, whatever. How many? Yeah, that's true, Paula. Yep, this is something that, especially again, folks, buy from reputable dealers, buy from trusted sources, especially with some of the prices. Now, I've been doing some research and I've been finding them at $3,000, $4,000.
Oh, yeah.
But I found one that's actually like the most whole note, and it sold for way more, way more. And again, you do have to be very careful. Now, there's also discussion, and I'm going to get into this, that you can find whole notes, and because the list that was provided by the FBI. But there's some discussion regarding that, and we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. How true and accurate is that? Why did the FBI take down the list of serial numbers? Um, who in the coin community, I shouldn't say coin community, who in the numismatic community helped notify the FBI of authenticity of these? So we're going to be talking a lot about some of that stuff today. No, it's okay, Paula. I don't mind. I'm surprised you're not up here. Um, but again, it's just
Yeah,
one of the,
Paula.
yeah, it's like, where are you? Like, I'm drinking coffee and having a quiet morning. Shh, don't bother me. You know how to get here if you want to come up, and if you don't, it's all good. But so what was it about this particular story that intrigued me? And again, the money was one of these things. He told you she needed coffee. Um, one of the, or she's yelling at the grandkids. Yeah, I don't think she's yelling at the grandkids. Um, maybe playing with her grandbabies. She could be playing with her grandbabies. But one of the things about this particular case that kind of intrigues me. Now, I'm not showing the bill. I guess I should be showing the bill. Let's do that so that both of y'all can see it. So the bill, one of the bills that I'm going to be referencing today, you guys can see this on the screen. Now, I have one pinned to the bottom of the vertical, so you guys can kind of see what I'm going to be talking about today. That's there for you to glance at. This is a 1971 ransom money that was found. It is a series 1969. Now, some of them are star notes, and the star notes go for more money. But again, it is a Federal Reserve note, and you can see that it has been authorized or certified, I should say, by PCGS. Now, one thing about this particular item is that PCGS is actually one of the people who actually notified that they had um, the information had been given to PCGS, which was a list of bills, right? There were the list of the $10,000 or $10,020 bills that were given. Now, Eric and I talked about something that I'll get to here in just a second, and that's the recording of those, because they had to record 10,000 of them in a very short time. What's the likelihood that they were out of sequence? So there is the reality of that. Um, but there was an identification of nearly 3 dozen of these particular serial numbers. And one of the issues with that was that they needed to verify because the numbers were hidden in these fragments that were stuck together for decades. So, for those of you who aren't really familiar with the case, what ended up happening is that now there's a couple different theories. Either he buried it, or it was a part of a washdown that happened from the drop site. Now, the uh, Washugi, Washugai, Washogai River. I can't remember. I don't know how to say that one. Um, there's a theory that he actually landed in the water, and that when he landed in the water, the bills came out, and then over the course of 8 years, they worked their way down, and then after flood deposited them on the bank, they were buried the sand, and then years later, a father and son would be camping, and then the son would find something, dig it up, find that there were a bunch of bundles in the sand. They would dig it up. They would call the police, indicating that they had found these, and um, that's how they found it. The other thing is that he actually buried them. He actually walked down and buried some of them, and the theories behind that is that there are uh, again, there's so many theories about this, right? So there's it's hard to keep all the facts straight, but a lot of the um, trying to think of um, the word, the deception of this particular act was to bury bills away from where the drop zone was to lead FBI agents off track. And there's been a lot of discussion about what could have happened and why, what happened. Did it fall out of the case? Did it fall in there? And we talked about that with Gary Huffman too. What's the likelihood that he actually landed in the water? And if you look at the aerial view of where they say that there is a lake, which is a big suspect of where he could have landed. But if he landed in the lake, how would he have ended up in, or how would this set of bills have ended up in the river on the bank? And so there's a lot of different theories about how that money ended up there. But regardless, they found it. And when they went through and they started looking at this, PCGS was actually the one to authenticate that these are the bills that were listed in that particular item. So if you look at the serial number right here, you'll see that that is one of the 10,000 ones that had been listed um, inside that FBI list of numbers. So, just kind of a general overview of why we're looking at this particular thing. Now, does anybody in chat? Hassan Hook says, I think it was a CAI inside job to implement more control over airline passengers. Ah, maybe.
A different one.
So there's so many theories, right? Some of the theories, and again, by all means, folks, I am not a DB expert, right? I should have done a little bit of research and found some people. I am going to be doing a part 2 to this because there's a lot of interest in this story. I think the video right now is sitting at almost 2,000 views. It's continuing to grow every day. So I think that people are interested by it. They're fascinated by it. And I think what I want to do is I'm going to reach out and have some people on to actually talk more about this particular story. But I want to focus today more on the numismatic piece, which is the finding of the bills, and talk about some theory and talk about just some general questions, right? And basically allow you guys to ask your questions. We can do some research together if you want to while we do this today. But basically, just looking at okay, so they found the money on the bank. All right. Well, they only had hours between the time of the plane landing I hear the famous bonk. Hi, Paula.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. You're chipper this morning.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, Eric.
Oh, he's finding good
Well,
stuff.
you're always chipper. You're always
Yeah, I
chipper.
found a pile of coins that I've had on my desk because I got a new desk for in a rubber band for probably 2 years. And I'm deciding to go through and attribute a bunch of them. There's some cool stuff here.
Nice. Good morning, everybody.
So he's
Sorry to
finding stuff.
interrupt.
That's why he's happy.
I know. I don't blame him. Okay, carry on.
It's all good. But again, so these notes that were hidden, they were hidden in these layers of the ones that were stuck together, had been given to PCGS. And the PCGS president at the time, Jason Bradford, who was located in Seattle working with the FBI overseeing the case, sent a message to the FBI director, Larry Carr. And he said that these are actually based off of the information provided that they are environmentally damaged, $20 denominations. They are, in fact, Federal Reserve notes. They do match the submitted numbers, and they are authentic numbers associated with what should have been given to DB Cooper if those notes are in fact accurate, right? So, assuming that the numbers are true, then these are in fact they're authenticated. Now, the problem that I had is when I went to go research the serial numbers to kind of get a list of the serial numbers, I can't find them anymore. There's one site where you can search a list, but you can't see the list anymore. So I was looking through because there have been reports over the last maybe 4 or 5 years of bills popping up that are normal circulated $20 bills, and they are in that range of $10,000 bills. So I wanted to do more research on that. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find out more. I'm going to continue to research that because if they found those bills, if they found bills that are whole and they're in circulation, it means one of two things. Well, it means more than that. There's a number of different things that could mean, but it means that either they didn't record all the numbers properly, which is a good possibility, assuming they weren't sequential. They had some that fell out that somebody found and never turned them in, kept them. He survived and sold them, bought his house with him, which is a leading theory that he spent $100,000 and quietly bought a small home and lived there quietly for some time. Or he survived and lived quietly and
Can I ask you a quick question?
yeah.
Is that site the check6.com?
One
Is
of
that the
no,
site that you said doesn't work anymore?
the one that doesn't work anymore is the Check Six. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you can't find you can search the bills, like you can
Mhm.
enter a number. If you had an authentic $20 bill, it'll tell you no, it doesn't show up. But I would need to test it with a bill number that I knew was authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you
And
can't grab one of the graded ones and
well, the problem
or
is that the graded ones, a lot of the numbers don't show the full serial number. So like this one right here. Enter
yeah, the
this
one you showed was damaged. Yeah.
enter this number in.
Okay, hang on.
L is in Lima.
Do you have to put the let's see, L in front? Okay.
Yep.
L.
725.
Do I put a space?
Nope, just keep it all
Okay.
together.
725
258
258.
38 and B is in Bravo.
And is this a 1969 series?
Yep.
Sorry, you have no match.
So that's the problem. So here's a PCGS authenticated bill, a fragment known to be part of it. That is the serial number, and it doesn't come up. So if this is a known serial number by the list, that site no longer works. That's the problem that I had. And so how can they they had to have pulled the list down, right? And we know that in the mid to late 80s, FBI pulled that list from the general public. So
Yeah.
That's probably because they knew that there was bills circulating at that point.
which would be a testament against their story that he potentially died.
Yeah, I mean, in 1971, he had what, $200,000 and $20 bills. So that's $10,000 $20 bills. The chance of that, they had to do everything manually.
Yeah.
They had to look at the banks had to look at the numbers and say, oh, this number looks familiar. And it was like the credit card books back in the early 70s. They'd go into the book and say, oh, this is a number that they're looking for or whatever.
Maybe to help prevent counterfeiting too.
Right. How much did they actually do that in the early 70s? It's wholly as good as the employees at the banks and everything else.
Yeah. So there's too many potential scenarios why that would have occurred, right?
Yeah.
And so unfortunately, I couldn't do more research on whether or not the bills that were found, the whole bills were found, were authentic. I couldn't find a whole lot of information on those particular items.
I wouldn't touch anything that wasn't authenticated in this case, you know?
Yeah, no, not
absolutely.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I seen a guy selling a graded one on Pawn Stars. Now, that is true, and they did authenticate that one. So, and the one at Pawn Stars, I want to say was $4,000 or something like that was sold.
That seems cheap, man.
It seems like most of them are between $3,000 and $5,000 that
really?
I saw. Googled it, yeah.
But it's not the record. So the record for the one that was, it was the one that was the most whole, sold for $37,000.
Yeah.
And
maybe there's just not, I mean, I would think they would have gone for a lot more money, but maybe there's just not a whole lot of interest, you know? I don't know.
Well, the problem is that a lot of these were sold, again, you're looking at some of the sell dates. I think these are one of those things where they come up and there's not a ton of them. So they just don't show up in auction very often. I think that they're probably, my opinion in this, and again, I'm not the expert in this. I'm only basing this off of the very limited information that I've been able to attain in this, but they're highly collectible, like highly collectible. And
anything
there's a
DB
finite
Cooper is
number of
highly
them,
collectible,
right? And so I think that they're one of those things where when somebody gets a hold of it, they become kind of a trophy piece. So
even there was souvenirs made after it happened. Even the early souvenirs are highly collectible. Just because it says, DB Cooper stuff.
Well, and again, so there was a Heritage Art Gallery in Dallas, had one just a few years ago, where there were two fragments of the $20 bills that was sold by Brian Ingman of Mina Arc, and he's the boy that found them while on vacation. Okay. So Brian Ingman is a man, he was the boy who actually found the bills. And he sold two
that was
fragments.
in 1980. So everybody knows.
Yeah.
The bills were found in 1980.
And so this was, I mean, he sold these, a decade, 2 decades later, but they sold for $6,500 a piece. So they're increasing in value as they sell, right? So as they come up each time, they're increasing in value. So you can expect if you were to try to find one of these, Jack said that they heard that the boy that found it, they gave him $5,000.
And
They
they kept
gave
those
him,
bills for a long time.
say
The
again?
FBI. The FBI kept those bills for a long time,
Yeah.
but since he found them, they were his property.
He got him back. Now, he did, now the stories differ. Okay. And just like everything with this case, you're going to find one place says one thing, one place says another. But what I've been able to find, there's two different stories on this. One is the FBI gave it back, and he gave back some of them to be distributed to the people to continue searching for the DB Cooper, right? To continue looking for the person, to do investigations, to kind of look at some of this stuff. And then he took another portion of the stack that he found, and he, sent them to like PCGS and did authentication and verification, and, actually got them older.
Well, there's a lot of conspiracy around his. We were talking about the perpetrator, the possible perpetrators of this earlier before the show, and somehow I've seen, 'cause I love these conspiracy shows on TV. I don't necessarily buy into them, but one of the conspiracies is that Ingham's father was business related to Robert Rackstall in
Oh, I
Las
haven't
Vegas.
heard that one.
Oh yeah, if you watch it, there's no real proof about it, but they say that they worked for some same contractor in Las Vegas, and that they can link them there at the same time in the same night. So that was the conspiracy afterwards. They're like, he found the money because he told them where the money was buried. That goes into the conspiracy that somebody buried the money, just a little bit of it, to throw.
I think
throw the
there's a
investigation
Netflix
off.
show on it.
There is.
There's
History
It
Channel,
movies.
seems like I watched a documentary on it that had a bunch of people, and it might have been like conspiracy theories or something like that.
Yeah.
That had a bunch of people on that. I saw him in Los Angeles, and
Right. There's a lot of them out. History
yeah.
Channel's got it. Netflix, and like Prime, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
They probably are showing the same stuff that our History did.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably where I saw it. Teacher, I don't know about that because I heard this story a long time ago, and I have heard it multiple times. So I think that people do know about it.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
A
maybe
lot of people know about it. That's why it's so collectible. He had a cult following. He was like Robin Hood, even though he didn't give the money back.
well,
That's what I'm saying. They were throwing parties in the early 70s, DB Cooper parties, where they made souvenirs, and these souvenirs are worth big money.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember seeing that.
so the teacher just became a member. Teacher, thank you so much for that.
Welcome,
I really
teacher.
appreciate that. Thank you. So there's a party that happens every year on the November 7th.
That's right.
To the 17th at the Ariel General Store and Tavern in Washington.
Right. You had that in your video.
Yep.
I remember you saying that. Mhm.
Every year. And this has been 40 years, folks, right? So for 40 some odd years, they meet and they held in the town of Trinity or Hamlet, sorry. It's this small little get together. And people from all over the United States come and they talk about this. So but what I think teachers talking about is initially, but the thing is that this made national media. I'm freezing. I'm going to turn my camera off for a second while it sorts itself out. This made national media, right? So it wasn't one of those things because you have to realize that at this time, hijacking was a big deal, right? If you look at the graph that I put in there, in 1971 alone, there were 13 hijackings.
Well, and there was no true airport security back then. You had security guard, maybe, probably with no gun, no anything.
Like $20 across the counter. They didn't check your bags. They were very hospitable. It was more about, flying the friendly skies and whatever. But if you look during that time frame, there were tons and tons and tons. Red Silver, 50 years. Sorry, I say 40. Yeah, 50 years later. If we want to be technical, it's 52 years later. But thanks for the correction, Red Silver. But it's just one of those things where it's like, there's no way they could have hid this, right? So I don't subscribe to the fact that they didn't want the story out to the public because it was already out there. I mean,
Yeah, I think
and that
that
national news coverage where he,
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't it on like all the
yeah,
oh
news
yeah, on
channels and
everything.
stuff, like
Uh,
yeah,
news
that was
clips?
one of those stories. My mom and dad, I can remember them talking about it, like in the 80s. Well,
yeah.
where they knew where they were when DB Cooper happened.
And Walter
You know, just like
Cronkite,
they knew where they were when John F. Kennedy got assassinated, when Martin Luther King got assassinated. That was always a big thing with them.
what's up?
They
Yeah,
would always
Matt
talk
Stacker.
about it with their friends.
What's up, brother? Good to see you here.
And
Morning,
that was
man.
another one. But I do think that in the 80s, the FBI just didn't give a lot of information on the money because I think they knew the money was circulating.
Well, remember, okay, so when we're talking finances, this is another piece of this puzzle that I wanted to talk about. So great segue. So you have to realize that during this time frame, about 55 to 60% of all U.S. currency was not in the United States. It was abroad. The U.S. currency, the majority of U.S. currency, was in other countries performing work. So
yeah,
a lot
Iran,
of
Vietnam,
yeah,
stuff like that.
right. And so the problem that we were having during that time frame is that now in the United States, the $20 bill was the big counterfeit during that time frame. Still is to this day. The $20 bill is the number one most counterfeit bill in the United States. But overseas, and especially during the 70s and 80s time frame, even leading up into the early 90s, the $100 bill was just it was rampant, the counterfeit overseas. And it's gotten better over the time because they put in little features and stuff. And we are not the number one top counterfeited country. UK holds that distinctive. But the problem that we have is that during this time frame, counterfeiting was rampant. And so Paula, I think is exactly right because there were already significant issues with specifically the $20 bill. They didn't want to perpetuate that. So by trying to remove some of the access to the information, it alleviated the like the specifics, the details for people to target this particular set of bills because
Yeah, because it's
it would
not
have
like
hampered their
they have
case.
to make yeah, they don't have to make pristine looking bills either because these were all like damaged, like seriously damaged,
Well,
right?
and it would have hampered their case because if all of a
Yeah.
sudden you have serial numbers showing up in Washington, D.C. and in
Mm.
L.A. with the same serial number, how are you going to know? I mean, that's going to lead you down so many additional rabbit holes.
I have another question. When did they start using those ink packs that exploded? Remember, the
That
ink
was,
pack?
I think that was in the 80s.
Was it?
And
Okay.
I think it was actually DB Cooper that this case actually was part of the inspiration for that.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because I kept thinking, why didn't they just like
the die
explode?
pack, the die
The
pack was
die.
actually created in 1965, and it was placed in a hollow, spaced out area inside banknotes that were 10s and 20s. But they didn't actually get utilized a lot until the mid 80s. And I think the DB Cooper was the case that actually caused them to be utilized
Well,
pretty
that
much
was
across the board.
stupid. They should have put them in there.
But we don't know that they didn't.
I would think that they would put them in there.
So, but here's the question, and this is a question that somebody asked me in chat, in my video. Why did DB Cooper ask for 4 parachutes?
For
Right?
ask for what?
4 parachutes, right? Because he asked for 4 parachutes and $200,000 in $20 bills. So the question for the 4 parachutes is why 4 parachutes? Well, there's 2 reasons. Number one, if he was experienced, he would have wanted to make sure that he got one that wasn't tampered with.
Right.
If somebody had cut lines in one and then messed with the cable, he would have wanted to have enough that he could have put a good shoot together. Okay. I mean, that number one, if he was skilled and adept at what he was doing, he would have wanted to make sure that his shoot was good. He would have wanted to make sure that he had all the information. Plus, he probably, and what they didn't say is, did they recover? And I didn't find the answer to this. I kept looking for it, was unable to find it. But did they find any shoots on the plane when the FBI boarded the plane when it landed in Reno?
But you know what? Why if I'm the FBI and I'm giving him parachutes, I'm tampering with all 4 of them.
Yep.
I'm cutting the
But
strings on
if
every
he's
single one of those parachutes.
But that's the point.
Yep.
That's why he would have asked for multiples. Because they
Right. But
wouldn't have
why
performed the
wouldn't
same.
they tamper with all of them?
Well, they
well,
might
if he was
have.
experienced, he'd be able to repack a shoot
He
pretty
would be able,
fast.
yeah, he'd be able to put the pieces together that he needed,
So he
take
checked
strings
them
off of the
first.
other. They would have had to. They would have had to have done something that would have caused irreparable damage. Now, the one thing that is clear is that one of the shoots that he asked for was a sports shoot. Now, the sports shoot actually
He
is
landed,
more
picked it up, and
maneuverable.
took
It
off again.
allows you to steer it. And I think he did that because anybody who knew parachuting knew that that was going to be something that was more controllable. So if any of the 4 shoots were jacked with, it would have been that one. And I think he knew that. I think he anticipated that. And so
All right, here's some information on the chutes. 2 of the 4 parachutes were left on the plane, one of which was opened and had 3 shroud lines cut from the canopy. So he was using the rope. I would say that he put the money on a different parachute.
yeah, so that's kind of where I was going with that. I think that he found the because in those harnesses, they have latchings, right? And so he would have been able to latch the money onto his other chute case, his other harness, because it would have been compatible. So he would have been able to, either through wrapping it around the side or something, he would have been able to fasten that other parachute to this parachute. That's one reason that I think he did that. He threw the money in that other parachute bag and then fastened that bag to the other one. And then as he bailed out, he knew that the money would be secure. He didn't have to worry about holding it onto himself.
Why didn't they ever recover any of the parachutes?
They did. They recovered 2. He left 2 of them
they
on the
did?
plane. Yeah.
He left two
No,
on the
I mean
plane.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about the ones he
You know,
why didn't the ones
supposedly
he
they
used?
think that they've recovered D-rings in like clips and even some cord when it was like near the money, because they really searched that area where the money was found.
Mm.
But they're not sure because, like they said, it's hard to identify a specific D clip or D ring or a clip and say that it absolutely came from this piece of equipment.
Yeah.
It's like saying, you got a number, an 8-penny nail, and they used 8-penny nails, but do you know that they use 8-penny nails in everything? So,
Well, if it was a military shoot, it would be marked.
Yeah, and there's a number of different reasons, but
Right?
my personal belief, and I say personal belief, I talked to
don't know.
a couple
I
different
don't know,
folks.
man.
All right, Sorcerer Stan, have a great day. Happy Cinco
Bye,
de Mayo.
Stan. Bye, Stan. Oh, it is Cinco de Mayo. That's
Yep,
right.
and folks, if you
having
drink and drive,
my
or if you drink, please don't drive. Lose your keys.
I'm going to eat a cupcake because
Uber,
we're having my granddaughter's birthday
Uber,
party.
Lyft, Waze, all that stuff is cheap. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Please, nobody can afford a DUI, but also nobody can afford to lose or take somebody else's life.
Call
If
a
you drink,
tow truck.
please don't drive. Okay. But again, it's just one of those things. Why would he have taken 4 parachutes?
Who knows?
Being intelligent. If you only ask for one and they screw with it, what are you going to do? Right. So I think he understood. I think he was very skilled and adept. In talking with Gary, I'd have another buddy, Rob, who is a master parachutist. I talked with him a lot, explaining some of the details and walking through the case and having him give me information. And again, the theory about why he would have asked for 4 kind of results down to if they jacked with one, then he would have needed to replace parts to make sure he had a good shoot.
And he put a timeline down, and it might have been a thing. If he asks for 4, they couldn't possibly mess with all 4
Maybe.
in that period of time.
Hmm.
I don't know.
A scissor?
Yeah, me. So for those folks that don't know this,
Put a
I'm
hole
very
in-
adamant about drinking and driving. I've lost family members to it. But me's son was hit with a drunk driver last month, and they're still dealing
man.
with all of that. So again,
Ugh.
folks, this is a real thing. I know a lot of people just shrug it off. I take this very seriously. So I've had, like I said, family members and friends who died from drunk drivers. My mom was hit years ago, and fortunately, barely survived. I mean, just barely survived. She was able to live through it, and suffers every day because. So, again, please don't drink and drive. Okay, that's just please don't do it. But let's get back on topic because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on a Sunday morning.
Wah, wah.
They're like, too late, Frosty. You already lost everybody. So, but again, there's too many.
Yeah,
There's
sorry,
too many
me.
theories on this particular case. But the thing that I found fascinating about the money is, people are like, well, why DB Cooper? And it's like, well, numismatics is the study of money. It's the study of history. It's the stories. It's the details. And this is one of those where you can buy a piece of that history. Now, I'll never be able to buy one. I don't think I'll be dropping $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, $30,000 on a piece of DB Cooper history, but I think it's really cool, and I wanted to share that with you because I think it's a cool story. For the people that are in chat, you guys want this case to be solved? Are you kind of the person that has to have closure to
No.
something?
No, I don't want it to be
Yeah,
solved.
don't solve it. That way they can have their party every year.
Yes, there's too much like intrigue.
And even
Come
if they
on.
solve it, they're not going to prosecute anybody. They've already said that.
Right?
It's past its limitations or whatever.
Hey Nick, how you doing? He's like, preach it, Frosty. You tell them about numismatics. But again, I like the stories, right? And here's my pretense on this. I do not want it solved. Personally, I don't care if it was Floyd McCoy. I don't care if it was
Richard McCoy.
Or Richard McCoy, sorry. Or if it's the other dude. Who's the other lady?
Vincent Peterson, and then there's Rob Raxdell. There's a bunch of them,
That's
actually.
The guy, yeah. Well, there were 800 people who met the criteria.
Yeah, there's 11 people that they consider real big people of interest. There's that Ken Christensen. Then I'd have to look.
What do you mean by people of interest? Like who they think might be DB
These
Cooper?
were suspects that the FBI actually interviewed, and all of them basically have military parachuting backgrounds and stuff like that.
Right.
Vincent Peterson was not interviewed by the FBI, but there was some DNA thing on the tile or on the tie, and they found metal from and it was very specific metal fragments from a
Foundry and
metallurgic laboratory in Pittsburgh. And they went back there and they said that's Vince Peterson. They were like, this guy is also and he fit the description and everything, but he was already passed away.
So did he like not touch anything on the plane?
No, they got 66 latent prints that they could never
they did.
Never identify to anybody.
Huh.
They found evidence, but back then, the
was a lot different.
Techniques they used to find things. I mean, they would dust and put it on a piece of tape and put it on a card, and then they would look with them on, basically like we look at coins, and try and match it up.
Well, but
And they would say, "Oh, we get 9 spots match. That's close enough."
here's my question for you, Eric. Okay, just to throw a kink in that. If he had thought this out, can you tell me that that tie wasn't a plant?
No, you can't say anything there was in a plan. You can't say that those are the original 2 parachutes that they picked up. Maybe he did have a bag with him. Maybe there was a parachute in that bag already.
Yeah. So there's too many things, and again, critically
Yeah, I
thinking.
mean, everything is, and it's
If
52 years later, almost 53 years. We're just speculating, but it sure is interesting, and it intertwines with numismatics.
yeah,
I don't know, man. I think people are giving him way too much credit. The man jumped out of a perfectly good airplane.
That's right. And you know what? We don't even know that he lived. I mean, everybody said it was storming and all that. He could have died, and he could be
Yeah,
sitting
maybe
in
he
that
got hit
river
by
with everybody
lightning.
else.
He got hit by lightning.
he would have looked like a brand new electrician.
There you go.
I don't know. I don't know.
But it's
So
cool. I love
I love the
conspiracy stuff.
story. I love the story. I do love
the
Yeah.
the
reason
story.
the reason that I don't want this story to be solved, and I actually
Mhm.
targeted some of the discussion today around
I know they do,
the,
Amen.
the case not being solved. And the reason is when we know the facts, we lose them. Right? They're no longer interest us. Well, we know who did it. Okay, well, let's move to the next intrigue, the next thing, because as humans, a lot of us have issues with unsolved items. We want to have the answer, so we're going
Yeah,
to
you want
continue to
closure
remember,
for a
right?
lot of things.
And a great example of this is, do I think he survived? Yeah. Do I think he had the skill set to jump out of a plane? Yeah. Do I think he had a plan? Absolutely. Do I think that he understood a lot about the airline industry, and he understood maybe inside job, right? Like he had inside help? Yes, I do. Um, but I don't want it to be solved. I really don't. And the reason is because I'm aware of another really cool story that very few people know about. And that is, how many people know of the first national bank robbery from 1927? And right now there's people Googling going, what the heck is this? But it was called the Great Santa Claus Bank Robbery.
I
Where
am familiar with it under
Santa
that name.
Santa Claus walked into a small Texas town of Cisco. 4 ex-cons decided it would be fun to do it. And he walked in wearing a Santa Claus suit. They found all of them. All 4 of them got busted and died. But how many people know that story? Very, very few. Because they know who it was. They knew what happened. There was closure to it. A lot of people just don't ever think or care about the story. Now, a lot of people remember it because it was Santa Claus. But a lot of people don't remember stories like this, right? There's the great president robbery. That was also duplicated or replicated in the surfing movie. What was that one?
Yeah, with the
Patrick
Richard Nixon
Swayze
mask.
and yeah,
Oh,
right.
that was such a good movie.
It is a
Point
great
blank,
movie. So there's
point blank, or point something. I
Point
don't know.
Blank. Yeah, Point Blank. But again, when you
Point
look at
blank.
some of those things,
Point blank.
why don't people remember those stories, right? And it's because Point Break, yeah,
Yeah.
great movie. Both of them were good.
Mhm.
Johnny Utah. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, why do the stories that we identify, we have the answers, we have the solutions. Exactly, Ray. Right?
Yep.
We remember
Landing of on the moon.
which
All of
Oh,
that.
here we go.
yeah,
Here we
can't
go.
do that one.
Did they really land on the moon?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't want certain things of our history to go away. This is why I like telling this story about numismatics, right? I like the coins. I do. I love the coins. I like looking at them. I like filling my typeset book. I like trying to upgrade it. I like talking and learning about varieties and errors. I love having Paula say, nope, that's this, and
No, you
explaining
don't.
No, I do. I really genuinely do. Because when I understand it, like when I actually understand it, I want to share it. Like I want people to know it. I love informing people of stuff. It's my mom jokes with me and calls me the professor. Because I enjoy teaching. I enjoy people educating people on that. But I enjoy the stories. That's why I like numismatics. I like the stories and the stuff behind them. And looking at some of these, what did they take? Did they take coins? Did they take bills? A lot of these old ones, they didn't take the bills. They took coins. They rode away with silver. Where did they stash it? Where did they hide it? The money was never recovered.
Yeah,
Where
where's
is it?
the James gang
Right? Yeah, there's so many of
treasure?
those stories that are out there that it's just fun to be to kind of understand the history behind this. So a lot of people ask me, "Why'd you do DB Cooper? It's so way off base for you." It's not. It's a numismatic story, or it's a story containing numismatics. Um, and so I enjoy that piece, and you're going to see a lot more of this from me. Because again, it's really cool. Mason jars along trails. Exactly, Nick. Yeah. Um, but it's too crazy um, to see some of these stories and talk about the theories. This is why I don't want this case to be solved. Right? I want this case to be remembered. I want people to forever look back and see some of this stuff and to have the discussions and look at stuff and have debates. This this is a time where conspiracy theorists, they love to banter and argue with each other, but at the end of the day they have a same goal.
In a few beers together.
But we can agree to disagree, right? You have your belief, I have mine. We're both going to continue the hunt in the same endeavor to identify what happens in this story. See, even amidst chaos and frustration and antagonization, um, we can agree to disagree, and this needs to happen more. It happens a lot in our community, right? We can see things different ways. Um, Stories like this enlighten us on a lot of different things about the human psyche and about who we are as a people. So I like these stories. I like sharing them. I like people being able to discuss. There's a lot of people in the video that commented saying he died. He died in a small home. Um, nope, I believe it was Rakshaw. He had too many common things. He was connected with the mob. He had ties in the airline industry. He was a counterfeiter. Whatever they might be, right?
Yeah, he had his hands in all sorts of stuff.
So, but is there any? I mean,
There's no
it's a
proof that
fun
he did any
discussion.
of it.
Say again.
If there was,
Somebody
he'd be in
knows.
jail.
Somebody knows.
Well, maybe not. But at this point, I was telling Frosty, you put the facts that to even be out of the service and trained in that stuff, he would be 22 to 25 years old at the youngest. So you add 52 years to that. If he's alive and at the youngest possible age, he's near 80 years old. Chances are he would be more like 90, 95 if he was still alive.
Well, they said he was in his 40s.
Somebody in the government knows.
And yeah, they said he was in his 40s. So
Yeah.
he would be well into his 90s then.
Yeah. So the likelihood that he's still alive is slim and none.
They said, well, we screwed that one up.
Especially with as much as he smoked.
You got to be able to link Bigfoot to numismatics.
Right?
I'll love it. I'll get into that one.
Well, there are silver rounds with Bigfoot. I think there might be.
I actually got into this because, like I said, I've watched every special on it.
On Bigfoot?
Good morning, Ida.
I watch a lot on Bigfoot too. It fascinates me. Do I believe in it? I don't. I believe that it's not impossible. I don't so much.
Come on.
That I don't so much believe in it. I just won't discount it because they found a lot of things that supposedly never existed. Megamouth shark, Greenland shark, all that stuff.
Giant squid.
giant squids. That's right. There's a lot of stuff that they said never existed, and now they're finding it.
A good Cowboys team.
And like I said, they
Come on.
discover hundreds of new species every year. I love the Cowboys thing.
Paula and Eric, Ida, are on panel.
Don't tell
Hi,
her.
Ida.
Ida, you're in the wrong chat.
She's in portrait mode. If you
I
want to
know
come to
she is.
landscape mode, Ida, you can click on the link that's pinned up top and you can come over to landscape mode. But if you're on a phone, just stay there. It's easier to see for your view.
Who does
An
she
honest
read?
politician.
Who
There you
doesn't
go, me.
recognize my voice? Oh my gosh.
But I do love the conspiracy stuff. It doesn't even matter what the subject matter is.
Hey, do we have any attorneys in chat?
Like real attorneys or like Google attorneys?
No, just general
ChatGPT
attorneys. Like true
Right?
attorneys.
AI attorneys. Oh my gosh.
I went to law
Listen,
school.
That AI stuff is really it's not doing as good as people thought it was going to do.
Well, there was some big incident now with the ChatGPT trying to edit itself or something like that, and they caught it. Yeah, there was some deal that just happened. A friend
That
of mine's
doesn't
son,
surprise me.
a friend of mine's son just flew in, and he's working on his PhD, and they basically said they couldn't use ChatGPT. They had to use Gambling or something that's another AI to help with their papers.
We're forbidden to use it.
Well, let me tell you, if you want a perspective on now, this is of course my opinion and my opinion only, maybe of other people's too, but if you want a perspective on how AI does not belong in numismatics, go watch the video Amanda and I did. I'm not. A lot of you probably already watched it, but I'm not trying to get clicks. But if you watch it, that's good. But anyway, go watch it on the eBay.
Oh
thing
yeah,
that
I
we
watched
did,
it. I actually watched it live.
and watch the descriptions that were created by AI for these coins.
Well, but that
It's ridiculous.
AI is good, and that's what he said. He goes, we have to do the content, and the AI is good because it uses a lot of descriptive words that humans wouldn't necessarily use. But like his professor said, don't think, and he says his professor busts people all the time. This is completely written by AI. It's not written by you because it's not been checked. And that's what he said. He goes, write your paper, put it through that, and edit it after that.
God, how lazy are we making people though? You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's how I just anyway.
Like the kids near here, they kind of quit teach. They basically stopped teaching them how to write.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, it's very important that they learn how to write. And some of these kids in high school can't write yet.
No.
So, but now all of a sudden it's important. So they're like pushing it. It's like, I don't know whose idea it was to think that that wasn't important.
Right. Yeah, I know Adam uses it to write his descriptions for eBay, but
he edits it afterwards.
He does. He goes back and edits it. And to me, if I have to go back and edit something that's written by somebody else, I'm just going to write it myself.
Well, here's my thing. In my past career, I wrote instructions basically. And the guy that basically was was apprenticed under said one very important thing. Don't say too much. Short and sweet. People want to see pictures. They don't want to see 2 paragraphs on how to turn a screw in. Just say, install the screw here. Short and sweet. I think eBay is a lot like that too. When you start getting stories on this coin could be this and this and this and blah, 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 I don't even go that far. I've already turned the page. The people that do are uneducated, I think, and need education. So they need to go to live coin Q&A and other channels.
Copper coins.
Or copper coins, yeah.
Well, and again, the problem with AI is that it's lazy people. Now you can use AI as a tool to better your item or to give you like ideas about things, but So like, I think it was Ringmaster and Ray and I were talking. Ray? No, it was a buddy of mine named Jeff. We were talking about, because as program analysts,
My name's Jeff.
our job is to break down processes, to look at things like, well, how is AI going to affect our jobs? And so we actually asked it to build some models and models that we built, and they were pretty decent. Looking at, they had the general basic structure.
Yeah, but it
But
had
if you were to,
professionals putting in the facts.
but if you were to take those and run with them, you would end up with bad results because there's no insight to the construct that it was built under, right? So you can build stories and you can do stuff, but the endings, they just don't make sense, and the details inside. You can look at Coins of Rosie, for instance, all AI generated information, where they show the coin, but it's not the coin that they're talking about.
Yeah. Now, do you guys shop eBay? Either one of you?
On a
Yeah.
rare occasion.
Yeah.
When you shop eBay, do you actually read the description, or do you look at the picture? I mean, you look at the headline and then you look at the picture,
I
and
look
then
at the headline, the picture.
that's
look
it.
at
I don't
the-
even look at the description.
I look at the
If
description.
if I intend to buy it, I might go down and
Well,
read.
but are
something
you
else.
looking for a description, or are you looking for, can I return it if it's this
That's
or-
what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like hidden messages that
That's what
they
I
put
look
in
for.
the
That's exactly what I
description.
look for. Yeah. I want to
And-
look
and
and see if they say this amazing replica.
if I buy off eBay, I found that I basically buy off of like the same 5 people all the time,
Yeah.
and they're reputable people.
I'm talking about like if we're cherry picking off of eBay and stuff like that. Sometimes you go down the description, you'll see things like this is not the coin you will actually receive, or
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
important to go down and read.
It is.
But
It
I'm
really
talking
is.
about when they say this could be, all the mumbo jumbo that goes in it.
Right.
I guess my example is when I did it, I basically wrote service manuals. In IKEA has the best idea. It's multilingual. If you have a question, you hit a YouTube, search a YouTube video, and they have YouTube videos that'll correct it.
Nice.
But yeah, that goes back to what the guy that taught me was all about. Short and sweet. That's like when I do listings on copper coins. Now, most of the time, I just do Southeast die scratch under the R of Liberty.
Mhm. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, keep it simple. Or if there's a ton of die scratches, I'll just put crossing die scratches or intersecting die scratches. And if they're all over, I just say, see the photos. Look at.
Well, there's a certain coin expert, and you may know by what I'm about to say who I'm talking about, who has gotten to where he likes to use big words when describing certain things.
Right.
And it's impossible to understand anything he's saying. You have to have a dictionary right next to you when you're reading his description of certain errors.
Right. And what does that do for
And-
anybody?
Yeah. And he never used to be like that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he tries to reinvent the wheel all the time.
Yeah.
But
Well, you've knocked it down
he-
to about 80% of the people that we could know because you said he.
well, yeah.
But I got a good guess.
Yeah. Anyway, it's that, and that's a shame. But yeah, you don't have to. You can usually describe things using and simplify things.
Right.
But AI is just ridiculous. Back to AI, it's just ridiculous. Don't
Yeah.
use it to describe your coins because
On
it'll
a
be
happy
wrong.
note, I
Yeah.
found a BU 1947 SDDR number 1 FS 801 dime today. Sitting on my
Very
desk for probably
cool.
2 years. So
Yeah, it's
now
been
I've
sitting there
actually
forever.
found 2 of them. I've actually got 2 of them now.
Very cool.
And how long has it been on your desk?
2 years, maybe 3 years.
Need to
Been
clean your
actually, it's
desk
been
off more
on my
often.
desk, off my desk, in a box, on my desk again, back off the desk. Every time
That's
I
my
clean my desk,
problem.
I dump it all in a
Everything
box.
goes in a box.
And then
Yeah.
then I pull it back out again.
You know what I need to start doing is just dating my boxes. Okay, date my
Oh,
desk on this
Paula,
date, and then I
I
may have some idea of where things are.
when I started doing varieties back in the 90s, I would put them in a 2x2 cardboard flip and put them in a single row. What's it, 80 coins you get in them?
The
Something
red
like that.
boxes.
Red box. And I
Yes.
literally, from 1990 to 2003, maybe got 30 of these boxes of unidentified coins.
I have those.
They just say
too.
sort on the end. And then
Oh,
inside, they'll have a little date on some of the flips.
yeah.
Yeah,
Those are
and
those
I try
red
to at the
boxes
first
are
of the
a
year.
problem.
Usually every first of the year, I grab a box and I go through it. This
That's
year, I
right.
actually attributed every single coin in the box.
Nice.
And I can tell you that I had looked at that box like 4 years ago and none of them were online. So they've all been attributed since then.
Well,
I
I went through a bunch of IDAs and we ended up having to take a bunch of change back to the bank.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is Ida
Those
still
red
here?
boxes are a problem.
I think Ida's still in
She's
chat.
probably in the other chat. I think she's in
She
the other
is.
chat.
Yeah, she's
Who else is
in
on
the,
the
she's in the
panel?
verbal
It's
chat.
Eric.
Yeah, she's still here. She's like, I'm here. Like, quit picking on me, Paula.
Oh, it's true. I'll never quit picking on her. It's my
You know, I
baby.
don't do the books that much either, Ida or Siren. I've got a couple books and they actually are empty. The coins for the books are in a 2x2 single row box.
Well, I like these.
Yep, I've actually got the big binders.
I just buy cheap binders
Yeah,
and
the
then I
3-inch
buy the
binders
pages.
and
Yep.
the important thing with that is you got to buy the better pages. Don't buy the
Yes.
cheap BCS pages. BCS does make good pages too, but the Collins pages are better pages. But the BCS makes, they call them, what the heck do they call them? I can't get back there. But
Do they make the ones that have the flap at the top that close?
they don't, but these have the finger thing where you can push
Oh, the finger thing. Yeah.
the flip up. And most of those are really heavy gauge plastic.
Yeah, because
And they don't tear. The other ones,
that you're,
the
they
cheap ones,
tear
these are like,
as soon as you go to pull flip out.
yeah, 25 pages for the price of 100 of the other ones. The other ones just tear. Half of them, the pages, you can't use the whole page because they're done so cheaply that they've sealed the tops of stuff. And I like a messy desk. I don't like a messy desk, but I just happen to have a messy desk all the time because I got a new desk.
I can't help it.
I'm looking at my bin to print up flip inserts. It's got to have 300 coins in it that are identified waiting for flip inserts. And I just identified another 25 more.
Nice.
Yeah, see,
I just got a notification that Frostbyte went live.
Oh, yay. Yay. An hour into it. That's a beautiful thing. But you know what? YouTube's been really bad with that lately.
This is stupid.
It's been horrible.
Whitman, Nick.
Jack's like, I'm getting hungry now. We'll go eat, Jack.
Nice, Ink Man.
Ida says she bought a box of wheat cents through a friend at a garage sale.
Ida.
Yay.
Ida.
Is she
No, not yay. Ida has 50 other boxes she still needs to go through.
Well, don't we all have that many?
You said I haven't had time to look at them yet. I need to replenish my supply. It's getting low.
Yeah, I've only got 44,000 rolls of pennies. I'm going to need to buy more.
I want to go through the wheat cents that Ida's already looked through. That's what I want to do. Yep. Have you ever seen Ida looking at coins?
I haven't, but I've seen. I see those red boxes when she's like in her office at her house. And I've said it a couple times. It's like, man, I would love to go through those red boxes.
What are you looking for, Ida?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've gone through them. Yeah, that's Ida. She puts the coin into the scope, turns it around. What you looking at, Ida? I don't know.
Yeah, but like I always say, she's looked at enough coins that when she sees something, it pops out probably where she goes, that just doesn't look right. And then
The
she looks,
wrong.
I mean, like I just looked at a bunch of pocket change. My wife brought her purse in here and dumped probably $15 in change on the desk. And I just looked through it now. And I only saw one coin that looked weird. And I didn't go any further than I put it on my desk in a flip and said it looked weird.
Looks weird. No,
Yeah.
I just found some good stuff. She has found some good stuff.
And ultimately, that's what I just know. So I look at so many cents that when something is wrong, it like pops right out usually.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's minor or not. I found a listed double die, and 99% of the people would never find it. That's it, Frosty. The little circle under the scope circle. Under the scope circle.
Circle. Yeah. Yep. Circle.
Yep.
Like, slow down. You're making me dizzy. I can't even see anything.
Oh, she said she's going to help you big time.
Who said that?
I thought I heard you say that.
Yeah. Is Ida talking smack over there in the other
She says
chat?
she's trying to
Yes, she
get
is.
Paula to help me, but she's too busy.
No. No. I helped you. We cleaned a bunch. We got rid of a bunch of your.
I'm going to say I can't see the whole chat, but I'm thinking she's saying too busy being on the patio or something when she's here.
I do like sitting on her patio in the backyard. I'm on vacation.
Well,
on vacation.
You don't hunt coins on vacation?
Not really.
Ooh, that's what I've got to check and see.
You know what? Well, I can't say that, Eric, because I do what I always do, and I look at other people's coins, even when I'm on vacation. It never ends.
That was the thing today. I actually looked at my own coins.
That's what I
haven't done that in a long time.
I need to do that more often. Yeah.
I like looking at other people's coins, though. I get just the same thrill. I really do.
I get very, very excited when people find stuff, and I get to tell them that they really found something. I get really excited.
I do too.
Because then I know the chances of that I've helped someone become a collector for life are really high.
A ton of 43s to go through. Nice. Are they really crusty ones, or are they?
Uh-oh.
I can tell you that the super crusty 43s, and I know that Paula will probably not like this, but they're crusty 43s. They're not really worth anything anyways. When I went to Brian Allen's house, we had a big bag of them.
He's cleaning them with something. I can feel it coming.
Boiling water, and then you dump baking soda in at the end and let them sit, and then you dry them off, and all that crud comes off, and you can actually see the design. But they're junk anyways. They're already junk. So
they are junk. Once they're junk, they're junk. Man.
And but I ended up finding 3 RPMs in that little bag.
I don't want to find stuff on junky coins, Eric.
Well, I do, because I'm trying to find everything.
Have you ever seen Amanda's 95 double die?
Oh man, no. But don't get me started. I had one. I have 2 actually.
It has holes in it.
I have 2 that I sent to get graded, and they come back MS66, and within a year they have front and back.
Yeah.
Have 2 pinched fingerprints on it.
Oh God.
And it's like, who did that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking they did it at PCGS.
Morning, Chuck. Oh, Chuck's in the chat. Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, good morning.
Oh no, yeah, I already got 2 of your boxes, Chuck.
Don't let him do it.
I do it. I don't mind doing it.
Come on.
We do it. Matter of fact, when we go visit, I'm going to be going up there sometime.
What's going on,
my wife
Coach?
is back, and it'll be 7 days of looking through his coins.
How's it going, Coach? Good to see you, bud.
How do you know you're never finished collecting? You know you're finished collecting when you don't know you're finished collecting, because you're not breathing anymore.
Yeah, that's the hoarding of it.
Yep. Well, the people that can actually sell stuff are lucky. I can't do it. I can, but there's emotional trauma that goes along with it.
That's right. I do it. I've done it a couple times.
Yep.
And
I do it at the coin show every year, and I'm traumatized.
It's painful to me.
It is.
Chuck laughs at me because he's actually been here. He laughs at me. It's like,
I still have
we
one
can
of the
do this and
coins,
this and
Paula,
this, and it's like,
so
I can't do
show.
it.
I know you do. But that one I'm okay with. That was, a little gold coin. I'm okay with that. It's my errors and varieties that I like. I mean, I missed them.
Well,
I
especially
do.
if you
I'm
look
going to
at your
miss this
coins
little
all the
pile of
time.
coins being on my desk on and off for the last 3 years. Glad it's done.
If
won't
you
know
look
what to
at
do
coins
with
all
it.
the time, if you're constantly going through your stuff and looking at your varieties, hey, what's up, Strachan? How you doing, bud? If you're looking at your coins and varieties all the time, then you notice when it's not there. But for a lot of the people, they just have it, right? They don't ever go back and look at their stuff. And
I
I do
actually
that.
use my stuff every day. My albums of RPMs. If I think that it's close, if I see something and it's close, like some of the video or photographic references I have are one picture. I always check if I have it. It's easy. You just pull the coin out. So I'm going through my stuff all the time looking at coins.
Yes,
It's
I
part of
look
the
at
way I
mine
do
all the
it.
time too. In fact, the coins that I sold last year, I still haven't filled the slots in my book. There's still every time I open my book, I'm like, oh, I remember the coin that was in there.
Oh, I miss it.
I miss it.
That's why you don't sell your stuff.
I know, but I have to, or I can't buy new stuff. So, yeah, I have one that I put up every year. For the last 3 years, I've had it at the coin show, and it's for sale, but the sticker price is so high, nobody will buy it.
Right?
Yep.
Well, that's like 55 double dice. I don't know who we were talking to.
I have
Did
one
they
of
jump
those.
up in price like big time in the last
They
year?
did. They did. I bought mine 6 years ago or something, and it's already about, well, maybe a little longer than that. I'm not sure, but it's about $1,000 more higher in value now than when I bought it.
I know that last summer I saw some like AU 58s for
That's what mine
$1,000,
is.
and they're not $1,000 anymore. They're like 2,500.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
I think I paid $1,200 for mine when I bought it, and it's AU 58 CAC. It's got a little greeny
Yeah.
beanie, and it's wood grain. It's beautiful. I love it. I hope I never have to sell that.
Everybody was like, when are you going to get one? It's like, well, I'm not getting one now. I assure you, unless lightning strikes and I find one, which I would never count on that. Number one, I don't search enough wheat bags. I don't search any wheat bags. I just let them sit on my floor and grow old. So
Yeah, I think that's a little high, Ink Man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you guys, if you guys want a problem-free coin, for the most part, if you want a beautiful AU 58 is your go-to grade. AU 58, because you will get it cheaper than a mint state, and for the most part, they only get AU 58 because there's a little rub or something that they just can't give
that's
it.
how this came up. Is somebody in one of the chats said, this coin dealer has a MS63 55 double die that's slabbed, and he wants 4,500 to 5,000 for it.
Mm.
And I'm like, wow, that's like way too high. And then I looked up and I was like, wow, that's not way too high.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even full blown retail according to PCGS.
Buy a coin from me. Mine never have anything on them. Right, Ida. Exactly. Right. No, I AU58 is my go-to. Like because it's usually in my price range. It's in my price range typically, and typically they're problem-free coins. So why not? But anyway, Frostbyte, you're being awfully quiet. This is your channel.
Yeah, but you guys just start talking, and it's like, I'll just let you go.
Sorry.
I know. I
It's
know
all
we
right.
But that's why you have a
we
subject.
forget where we're
But-
at. That's
but
why.
here's- but
That's
here's the
why
thing.
Chuck and Eric. That's why Chuck and Eric never invite anybody else up on the panel with them.
But here's the thing. The cool thing about the discussion is that there's a lot of good discussion that happens. So I learned a long time ago that when good discussions are going on, what's going on, Wolf Metals? How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Um, when good discussion is happening, just shut up and let it happen, because people pick up stuff in conversation that they might not get if you have a planned topic. And this is why it's important. This is why, like, this is I'm and Ida asked me, are you going to be finding somebody who's going to be our navigator in Tulsa? Um, but the important thing about conversation, this whole thing during the COVID thing where everybody was locked down and couldn't see anybody, you lose a lot of who people are and what they do and how you're connected to somebody without just having discussion. So I learned a long time ago, when discussion is happening and it's good, let it go. There's a point to interject, but there was no point to interject there. That's fine. I don't mind discussion being happening on the channel.
When people are passionate about something, it's the conversation just goes.
And that's
It's
good.
always the same.
Yeah, but that's good.
Always the same topic, coins.
And I think the majority of us, some of you probably will disagree with this, but the majority of us, our families won't allow us to talk about coins. So we get together.
Well, my wife loves it when I talk about coins, but it's like, that's nice. Isn't that nice?
Mine have none. No, I'm banished from.
Yeah.
And then I know when I'm done because I get the, well, bless your heart at the end.
And it's probably a good thing because they're like, well, what does that mean?
Eric, is she from the South?
You're talking to me.
Yeah.
Eric, is your wife from the South?
She's from Alabama.
Okay, so you know what? Isn't that nice? Or ain't that sweet? Ain't that special?
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, but bless your heart. That's just
Bless
a nice
your
way to say, don't bother me, or
Well, bless your heart is basically F you. Like,
that's right. That's right. It's got it's a multi-meaning thing,
yeah,
but it's like stop, leave me alone, F you, whatever.
Well, isn't that nice? Oh, it's like, time's done. Got to get out of here. No, my wife is absolutely like, she's like, oh, thank you. Is it something
go
I would
away.
like? No, okay. Thank you. Yeah, go play. I'm gonna go watch TV. I want to go do whatever. So
bless your heart is a curse to someone. That's funny. I didn't know that.
it is. Yeah. Bless your heart. Yeah. It's basically saying F you.
Yeah, or leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's just like the end of a conversation.
Go. Yeah.
Well, isn't that special?
I need to know where Ray got the term ringworm. I hear a lot of people call him that?
Butt cracking. Butt cracking calls them ringworm.
Oh, butt cracking and ringworm. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Stacking with butt cracking. That would be a great name.
That would be a plumber's channel, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's actually, if you're a plumber, that's actually a good title.
And have the shirt that says deposit coin, gold and silver here.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I need to tell Plumber Stacker to do that.
Yes.
There's lots of good.
There are several.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of good ones.
Yep.
So what's your best find recently?
But they're all in my closet right now.
What's my best find recently? Well,
Yep.
I don't really know if they're a find or not.
Those 2024 quarters. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I've looked at recently. So is it a great find? Probably not, but
it's a good find.
But it's fun because it's something, and it's one of those, that's peculiar. So not sure.
Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate you answering that question.
I think what Eric said, I said the same thing to Ken, that I think it's more of a master die issue, but we'll see.
Well, is there anybody in chat that has a coin that they want us to look at? If you do, you can fire it off to me.
If you do, you better make sure that the pictures are clear and cropped, both front and back. Or
Yeah, if you guys have a picture you want us to look at, fire it over here. We'll I'll pull it up.
And don't
we'll
ask if you don't want. Don't ask if you don't want the truth.
And no 82D questions.
82D.
But they've tapered off for me. I used to get them like all the time.
Eric,
daily.
they come in waves. It all depends on whether there's a TikTok video out about it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
They come in waves. Like the 64 SMS, the 82Ds.
Inkman wants to know if Shade was going to be at Tulsa.
The floating roofs.
They have to be lucky enough to watch one of my streams when I give my email address out, or they don't have my email address.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, Shay is going to be at Tulsa. He got the time off and everything, so he is going to be in Tulsa. Mm-hmm.
How's he doing?
Oh, very cool, Dan.
It's starting to slow down. He's got some family stuff going on, so it's starting to slow down. So he will be with us soon. And I think Joe Cronin's going to be on Monday with us.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'd like to sit down with him one day and talk canning.
Will he buy his book?
Is it out?
Yes. Yep. And he's running out. So if you want one, you better get one soon. We have 4 coming that we're going to be giving away. So it's fantastic. He did a great job on that.
Where do you pick it up at?
Hang on. So you can email him. If you're on our Facebook, we have a post about it.
It's $100.
It's 80.
It's on sale for $100 on eBay.
Yeah, exactly. It is. He has 60 left. $80 covers taxes and shipping to all 50 states. So, yeah, if you're on our Facebook, there's a page.
What's it under?
Joe Cronin.
No, is it under shop? Is it under?
No, it's just it's just a post in our Facebook page. Or you can go to his Facebook page, Joe Cronin's Mint Errors Explained, and just shoot him a message, and he will. Hey, Paul, how are you feeling?
Hey, Paul Hampton, what's up, buddy?
Run over Mac truck in the Exactly, Chuck. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Of course, parking lot coins are always either 82D small date coppers or 43 coppers. Always. What else would they be?
Oh, I'm sure Chuck gets a ton of them because he's got that video out. He gets a ton of comments on YouTube about it. So,
yeah.
Oh, and even on our videos, the number one comment on the videos is, "I've got an 82D small date copper cent. Is it worth anything?"
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Paula, put your Facebook link in chat. Mine's not coming up.
Hey, Paul Hampton, how are you?
Good to see you here, Paul.
I hope you are well, Paul. There you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Yeah, because that's one book I definitely want to get.
And he talks about other counterfeits in that book too. So it's definitely, I mean, it's a great book. I haven't got my copy yet, but I got a sneak preview. I can tell you now. I couldn't say anything before.
I know you got a book.
Well, I have 5 coming. One is mine, and then 4 we're giving away on the channel. But I'm always the last. I was the last to get his last error books too. I was the last to get them.
Hey, go into the page and approve my request.
Okay,
I'm accessing it from a different account.
there you are. There you go. And you can tag him in the comments of the post, or you can just shoot him a message on Messenger. I saw this on YouTube. Yeah, the silver penny. So there are 43s Lincoln cents that are silver, but they are struck on silver planchets, silver dime planchets.
Is it? I thought it was a foreign planchet.
I don't know. It might
Philippines
be
planchet or something like that.
I could be completely wrong about that, but yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I seem to remember that the one is like a centavos planchet, that it was a little different than a dime planchet.
Something. Yeah.
Oh, so I got a photos in.
Yeah, because it does fill out the hole. It does fill out the whole hole.
Yeah.
All right, so I got some photos in.
I think there might be
jumping all over the place.
So maybe. Cherry Picker's Guide, Volume 6. I can't find one anywhere. You need the first. Yeah. Well, prepare to pay up for one. You can find them if you're willing to pay like $300-400.
So
the first edition.
This is a little out of focus.
I want one of Chuck's little ringed, searching through
the Lincoln Cent book.
Looking through Lincoln Cents. Yes, I found one for really cheap, and I let Adam buy it. How stupid was that?
Paula, do you see the item up there? 1976
nope.
quarter.
Nope.
Let me do this. So there you go.
Yep, that's a doozy.
Yeah, 76D, right?
Yep, that's a big one.
Yep.
That's a big
one. That is FS 101, it looks like.
That is FS 101.
Yes, sirree, Bob.
That was sent by G-Dub.
Nice.
Nice coin.
Yeah, beautiful doubling there in Liberty. That really well here in the R.
Yeah, that's hot.
Good looking.
Yeah,
These two pictures are a little blurry. It's hard to see.
I don't care about that. I don't care.
You don't need a better picture than that one right there. The one that you got showing with this upside down.
Yeah.
That's a great photo right there. Nice coin. G-Dub says I have two of them. Well, great. Do you need my address?
Show off.
Can I have one?
You need my address?
That's a bucket lister for just about any variety collector. It's
all right.
sexy.
So I got another one. Let me pull this one up.
Have we shown that, G-Dub? We've shown a couple of those on our live show.
All right, Chuck, you guys have a great weekend.
Have a good one, Chuck. Thanks for coming up. Thanks for visiting the stream. I appreciate you.
I can hear him thinking right now. He's like, ooh, quarters.
And I'm glad you're back, Chuck. It's good to see you back.
All right, so Jim Shank, I've never seen this before.
Don't overwhelm yourself. Pace yourself. Pace yourself.
All right, so let me do this. Let me present.
Tried to show it on Ringmaster Rays. It did not go well. G-Dub, you need to send pictures to info@livecoinqa.com.
All right. So here's
That's a big old die break. In fact, I think that is actually a cud, and I believe it's listed.
Oh, Red Silver, I always preview picks before they get posted.
Let's see. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
2020.
Looks like Lincoln was happy.
Nice.
Coins, 2020.
There's another one there.
You'd call this one Lucky Lincoln?
That one's
Here.
That's
Oops.
Lincoln's tie.
Copy. 1 second. What am I looking at? Yeah, hang on. I'll put a link in the chat. You guys can look this up.
So this one came from Jim Shank. There's two of them there.
Yeah, I think that is CU 1 cent 2020-01 stage. I think that one's stage C. Hello? That's my notification. I just got another notification that Frostbyte's live.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's so Jim Shank, there's the link right there if you don't already know.
Yeah, and the one is
that one is stage B. His is stage B.
Yep. So the one you have, and then the second one, looks farther along than stage C. So this one right here, actually, just
what one? That's stage B.
Yep. Hold on, it's not.
That is stage C.
That's actually farther along than the stage C photo that's there.
No.
A little bit.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
What's the little, are those the person's initials down in the bottom on the photo? Kind of indicate whose photo it is?
Where?
On the listing that you gave?
So these are Matthew Valley's.
Okay.
He found them. They're his photos.
That guy loves his shield sense.
Pull this up. This is what we're talking about, folks. So these are the cuds that Jim Shank just sent. That was the first one that he
C
showed.
has a bi-level die crack extending northward from the elongated cut. That's stage C.
And then the other one was this one. He has both of them. That's pretty cool, Jim. Those are a couple
big old chunk of the die came out.
Couple nice pieces.
Yeah, those are cool. He bought one from me. Matthew did? That doesn't surprise me. He likes his shield sense. He does.
Yep, there's a bunch of other ones that are on there.
So just to let you guys know, there are multiple listings on this site that many people disagree are actually cuds.
Okay. Like this.
Or retained cuds in particular. Because
isn't there kind of like a definition argument about a retained die break or retained cud?
There is. So for a retained cud, there has to be some type of vertical displacement or horizontal shift. You have to be able to tell, to be able to see that shift or displacement. Because that if it hasn't extended down the die shank, then it wouldn't really be a retained cud.
Right. Well, it wouldn't be a cut. It would be a retained,
it's just the rim to rim
die break, right?
Huh?
It would be a retained die break.
would
cut
be,
has
or
to
a
come
rim
from
to,
a
it
rim,
would be
doesn't
a
it?
rim to rim die crack.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a really cool
Or
one. I got a couple other ones that
other
people are
ones.
sending me in. So Brian posts this one and asks, is it common?
Ooh.
Not sure. Got this the other day. Is it common for the mint mark to have two different size C's? The problem is I don't have the reverse.
I need to see a reverse.
You're going to need to send me a picture of the reverse in order to do that. So send me a picture of the reverse, because I
Yes,
can't
please.
answer that question just by
I
saying this.
definitely want to see a picture of the reverse of
Yep.
that coin.
Yep, can't see this. Potential concerns?
Yes.
Says it's on the third picture.
So I have some concerns about this coin. I think Paula does too. I can't zoom any farther than. So we'll come back to this. Send me the other one and we'll look it up. Gilbert,
And if you could send a weight, that would be amazing.
the who?
If you could send the weight,
Okay.
weigh it.
All right, let's see here. What do we got here? This is a 1966.
Brown chicken, brown cow. Yes, it is. It is a very circulated.
Yep. Machine doubling on the top.
Quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
What was the question?
DDR? Question mark.
No.
The picture. Maybe.
No.
But it's
Come on.
too. That would be one that he's thinking that it's an FS 101.
Oh, 66. 1 second.
Yeah.
Because there can be machine doubling. We know
That's
of
right.
a 69S. We know of a 69S Lincolnson with a double die and machine doubling.
But that actually, see, that looks like machine doubling. But on the other side, right there, inside the E, that does have the telltales of a DDR number one. But that would be one that you'd have to have. Well, here, actually, he's got pictures of a circulated coin here, and it looks very much like that.
This does have machine doubling, and yeah, that does look like a match. I want to see E pluribus unum, please, if I can.
Oops.
But yeah, that does look like a match.
Not
Do
a
we
very
have
good
other
photo.
pictures? Do we have other pictures?
Nope, there's only the three. So
Okay, hang on.
resend
Pluribus.
that one, and
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is a match.
And that's a good find too.
Yeah, that's a great find.
Yep. I'm not sure.
if you can send a better photo of that one, send a little bit better photo. This one's a little blurry.
No,
but it looks like it does have both machine doubling.
It does have both. It does have both. Mm-hmm.
But this one right here this is pretty clear here.
Yeah, when he pointed
inside
and
the
inside, inside, and then the outside of the D also.
Yep.
And then the S.
Look at the S. Yeah, the bottom of the S shows doubling for sure.
Yeah, that reminds me of the 64 on the Lincoln cent. Those
that's
like teeth. The teeth. Yep.
Very nice.
That's a cool.
That was G-Dub.
G-Dub, you need to stop finding all that good stuff.
I'll leave some for the rest of us.
But I'm going to put info at Live.
So
Coin
when you see this ball, you're going to
UA.com.
have immediate
Am I? Hang on. 78cc.
What year is that?
What, the
73
66?
No,
Oh, that's a 78.
or
78.
78.
I want to see that's what I want to see. The whole, like, can you go down a little bit? I
Hold
want
on.
to see no, I want to see the breast of the eagle. No. There we go. Okay. One sec.
Does it test right?
CC. Go back down to the initials.
Oh, G-Dub, that other photo is really good too.
My problem
That
My
CC just
problem
looks
is
off to me.
Yeah.
my problem is the obverse, that broken E on the obverse.
Hold on.
So I want to look at 18. Let's see. Counterfeit detection.
Hey, what was it?
The broken E.
Here?
I don't know a lot about Morgan dollars, but a lot of times when you see things like that, because I don't see that as like on the authentic, which doesn't necessarily mean anything because there's multiple dyes, I'm sure, that were used. And that could be like a VAM. Where did you go? Yeah, I can't tell.
Great photo.
I can't tell anything from these pictures.
Because that's a better date coin too.
It is. But I mean, that doesn't look terribly off.
A lot cleaner than the outburst does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it could have been in a book.
Right.
I don't know. I would take it to a coin dealer. I don't have anything that's like screaming at me that it's not real, but.
And I'm totally out of my wheelhouse, except I know it's a better date.
Yeah. So here's a coin. So here we go. Okay. So here's an article from Coin World. First, fake.
Are you bringing something
is a
up?
good example. The weight. Yeah. So here's the article with the tidal wave of counterfeit Morgan dollars washing ashore over the past few years. Two things continue to surprise me. The first is how much blah, blah, blah. I think this is this Jack who wrote this? No, this is Michael Fahey. 1878, the weight, diameter, and thickness of the fake are exactly the same as the genuine coin. The sharpness of the fine details is very good. Someone added artificial toning to the coin, so that's what it says. Let's see. Easiest diagnosis for the fake, something that variety specialists will pick up quicker than the average collector. All genuine 1878 CC Morgan dollars will have a small, round CC. This fake has a tall CC mint mark that was used in 1879. So let's look at the.
And that's what I was thinking originally. I knew that there was one year that had a large CC and small CC. That's the small ones.
Yeah, and they're round.
Yep.
So that's a
Chuck,
good
he
diagnosis.
got a bunch of fakes, and they were literally all CCs, like all the way up to 1921.
Morning, Tiger. Yeah, we're just trying to verify the authenticity, Anxious. It's
You know,
really
you
hard to
can't be
tell.
100%
Bottom line is
looking.
he's going to have to take it in to verify
Yeah,
it.
you can't be 100%. But here's the thing, though. What, like this article said, that the fake ones are coming up, and the weight and everything else is just spot on. It's probably one of those that they're actually using fake
A good coin
dyes. And
dealer will have an RF gun, so it won't even
yeah,
matter.
yeah, and they'll be able to look at it too, I'm sure, because they see them all the time. So,
Right.
but I don't see anything that screams out to me that it's not real.
So G-Dub sent a couple more. Do you want to look at the other photos of that, or it's the same one
Sure.
of the DDR?
Yeah, I want to look at it. I mean, I know it's a DDR, but I want to look at it.
Okay, there's the America.
And you can see
Yeah,
it on
see
the
the
really
see the notch
top of
in
the
the
A.
M too, and yeah, that's much better picture. Do you have another one? I wanted to see the N and Unum, but oh, I hate seeing that scratch. This coin went through a lot of hands.
66. I mean, that's pre-DB Cooper.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked it out. Let's see what this.
It's a great find, dude.
It is.
Hey,
Let's
Tiger,
see,
what's going on, bud?
coin
Thanks for coming in.
facts.
Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate you, buddy.
Really the only one we have to go by.
Yeah, Malcolm, it's really hard to tell though. You need somebody to authenticate it. You need to, and you can't trust the magnet test. You can't trust. You need to have somebody actually test it.
And I'm guessing
Good.
that 78cc, I think that's maybe a $400 or $500 coin.
In mint state.
No, in that state, like XF45 would be still like 400, I think.
No option to member on
I
landscape
just
mode.
looked it up on PCGS, but that I shouldn't go by PCGS
So
Yeah.
price.
the
I should pull out one. Gray sheet.
PCGS got 445.
Okay. Okay, here is here's, I mean, so PCGS, they don't even have in 45 on PCGS, that DDR.
Oh, not that DDR. I was talking about the silver dollar.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at that DDR. They only have 2 graded. They only have 4 total graded, 2 in 30 and 2 in 45. In 45, they had one that was sold in 2012 for $920.
Yeah, that's a nice find. That
Yeah.
76 is can be a pricey coin too.
Yeah, it's scarce. That's what I'm looking at. The 66. It's scarce.
It's like the penny double die reverse. That's a scarce one too.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
G-Dub, you got a gifted membership. There you go, bud.
We would.
Sorry, Red,
Casey
tried to
just
get you
took
one,
this
but
news
unfortunately I can't
DDR.
choose.
Oh, it's listed, G-Dub. It's listed on PCGS. I just looked it up.
It's a great coin. Great
It's
find.
still there. Yeah, that will never be delisted.
So that is a great find.
FSU one is there. Here, G-Dub, I'll copy. I'll put it in chat for you.
Nightbot does not love me either.
There you go.
Trying to find.
Well, I gotta go, folks. I gotta get ready for a birthday party.
All
You
right,
guys have
Paula.
a great day.
Paula.
Well, thanks for
Always
coming up.
fun. I love hanging out with you guys.
Thanks for looking at those coins with
Bye.
us.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's a way to. I don't think you can actually go in and actually gift a membership directly, can you?
I don't know.
Nope, I don't think you can. Well, cool. So I reached out to Joe Cronin. Hopefully he responds. I want to get that. I want to get a copy of that book. I definitely want to watch that, or definitely want to do some more on the Henning nickel. I love the Henning nickel. Really cool story. He's done a lot of research on it. So go check that out. Again, she put the information in her Facebook group. If you're not a member of the Live Coin Q&A Facebook group, go check that out. Lots of fun. Is there anybody else that we got about 10 more minutes before I wrap this up? Is there anybody else who wants to send a coin over to have them look at? If you do, go ahead and send it up. I'll look at it. Did I see my message to Paula? No, I did not. What message did you send? Your 1911 5 cent. Oh, she's already looked at that. We already sent that off, Teach. Yeah, she's already seen that V nickel with that big dilam. She's already seen that one. I think I already relayed the information to her. So yeah, but if you want to send a photo of it, we'll show it to everybody else. Everybody else can see it. It's a really significant lamination. Yeah, no worries. Send it on over though. Send it back over. Actually, I might even have it. Let me see if I can find. Do I have it? No, email it to me. And I'll pull it up. Here. Send it to that email address. And all you do on your phone is you click on the photo, go down to the bottom, click on email. It'll open it up in email and just enter that email address. If it doesn't go through, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Hey, Anxious, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you coming in and saying hi. Thank you for being in here. We'll give a teacher just a second. So what do you got going on today, Eric? Anything fun?
Cutting my lawn. Matter of fact, I think the wife came in here earlier when we were talking about DB Cooper to tell me, you got to cut the lawn today.
Yeah, I think I need to do the same thing.
And it's getting to the season where it's going to be cutting the lawn every 3 days for the next 6 months.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
As soon as it starts raining here, my lawn grows. I mean, it's only been a week since I cut it, and it's like 10 inches tall. But when it starts raining, it will grow overnight.
The weird thing that we've had, which has been really strange, is the Gremlin membership for 2 months. Thank you. The weeds are the only thing growing right now in our yard.
That's all I have is weeds. I mean, it's kind of grass, but it's like when I was in Michigan, the grass we have here is basically crabgrass or whatever they call it, or crack grass, or
Yeah.
it just vines along the top of the dirt.
Yeah, it snowed. They got what, 2 or 3 inches of snow in Oregon where Gremlin's at.
Yuck.
Crazy. April showers bring or May snowstorms.
There you
What's
go.
going on, AZ Coins? How you doing, bud? Good to see you. So we'll give that email just a second to come through. Just got a message from Tiger last night at midnight. Are you awake? No. I was not. Not very often that I'm up that late, unless I'm doing some editing or work. Especially with all the work that I've been doing lately. I put in so many stinking hours, it's horrible. I think you got like 160 hours a month of work or something like that. And I've ended up with like 115.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was just.
Well, do you get overtime or are you salary?
I'm salary.
Bummer.
Yeah, just April's a really rough time. Just a bad month for us because we do a lot of hospital testing. And so we test worldwide. So there may be something at 5 o'clock in the morning and there may be something at 6 o'clock at night. And the tests take anywhere between 3 and 6 hours. So been Been a doozy. Forget, I can't get your email. Oh, no worries, dude. Yeah, no problem. I think I might have. Let me see if I have. See if I have it on. I'll have to look and see. I think I have the photo there. See if it downloads. It may not. I got one other email coming up. Chris, there's no way to see that one. Hold on just a second. I might be able to do that. Let's try and share this and let's see if that shows up. Chris G just sent this one in.
That is machine doubling.
That is machine doubling.
It is. See it on the bottom of the D, the R, the quarter, on the mint mark.
Yeah, but what about the D? That's the same
The
thing,
D is
right?
too small. Let's see. There's dimensionally, it's been reduced.
Yep.
The D is machine doubling also.
Yep. So that is not a double die. That is just.
And you can see it on quarter dollar.
Yep.
Same thing. That is machine doubling.
Because it takes away from the overall
dimension of the actual design.
Get up in here.
It's on the side of the wing right there too.
Yep. Yep. Machine doubling, dude. Sorry, bud. Hopefully you didn't pay for that one. Yeah, find me. Anybody wants to pull up their channel name, you can do exclamation point find me. That'll pull it up. If you want to pull up my email, you can do exclamation point email. All right. Well, I think no, I found my silver. Yeah, unfortunately it's not a double die. It's machine doubling. Sorry, dude. That's bad news, but you know what is what it is. Yeah, so Ringmaster Ray just threw up Coin Cruise link. They're going to be coming up next. Oh, hold on.
I lied.
Aha, you're back.
I don't have to go yet. The party's not till 12:30.
Well, guess what?
What? Chicken butt?
I'm just wrapping up.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me.
Bye again.
Well, don't go anywhere. Hold on. We'll chat afterwards. Hold on. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
All right, folks. Well, hey, go check out Coin Crew. We got Coin Crew's listing there. Go say hi. Let them know that Frosty sent you over. And I'm going to go get some coffee and stuff. I'll pop over there, say hi to some people. And then I got to do the same thing Eric says. I got to get out and mow my yard and get my yard work done. Because this is going to be a busy week and we're expecting rain all week. So, all right, folks. Well, hey, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the
See you
start
next
of this.
weekend, everybody.
Have a blessed week.
And again, if you guys have other stories or things of that nature that you want to see, hit me up and let me know, because you know what? This is what I enjoy doing. All right, folks. Well, take care. Be blessed. See you in the streams.